I'm going to change the carburetor on this Cub Cadet zero turn. Keeps losing fuel overnight, so I have to use starter fluid to get it going. It's like a $44 part on Amazon. We'll see how long it takes to change. So far I've used a 5/16 socket and a 10mm socket. I've never done this before, so we're going to figure it out. So I had to remove the air filter bracket. There was 2 hoses that was on that. I took these 2 bolts off, or nuts rather. Gotta unplug this. Pull it up out of the road. Go over here and see what's going on. What I gotta do to take these off. Don't know how exactly to get those out yet, but I'll figure it out here soon. Follow up shortly. So in order to get those little brackets off, I slid the carb off of those 2 bolts and then was able to twist it just a little bit each way without putting too much pressure in order to get it out of this little bend right here. So we'll repeat that step when we go to put the other one back on. The gaskets were all still good and everything on here. So we'll replace those gaskets with the new ones in the kit. This was shipped like this on Amazon. I don't have a tripod set up right now, so we'll set this down a second. Set them here and match them up with the other ones. This side is chrome, and the other side is kind of a bronze look. So we'll put that gasket there because that matches. Right there. I don't know what matches perfectly on this thing. We'll do the other side first. how the new gasket's fitting. The old gasket fits way better. Let's try that. So I'm going to repeat this step, finagle this on here somehow. See what we can do. So I got it back on there. You just got to, from what I know, I had to take it off of these. Put this one on first, and then this one was easier to get on, but you have to make sure you take that little plastic thing out of the old one, because the new one did not come with that, or at least with the kit that I received. So everything's on there. The spring, there's a little tiny spring that goes in the hole right underneath that. It's kind of hard to see. That's what keeps that pulled up. So we should be ready to put it back together. The bottom of the air intake lines right up with those, and then goes to those 3 bolt holes. Slides right on there. These 3 5/16 screws back in. Make sure you line them up so you don't strip them out. Start them with your hands. The 10mm bolts will go right back on here, connecting the air intake to the carb. And of course, since I didn't lose my 10mm socket, I had to lose my 10mm bolt, or nut. This is definitely not been running, so it's hot, not hot. So you want to be careful messing around like that if you've been running it. I wouldn't want to get any more strikes on YouTube for something silly. Alright, so I took these 2 T30 Torx out. And you might know it. There's my 10mm nut down there. I'll leave that off for now in case I decide to drop it again. Get that started on there. You need a 10mm deep well, apparently, and I don't have one of those. Because I'm not a mechanic, I'm just trying to figure this stuff out, because they don't send any directions with any of these little random parts that you order on Amazon. So hopefully this helps somebody out. So far I've got about 15 minutes in doing all this. We'll put it all back together and see if it actually runs. It always ran good, it just wouldn't start on its own after sitting overnight. So we'll see if it starts on its own. There's no need to over tight these, you just get them until the gaskets are snug and give them just a hair extra. I don't know what this hose does, but it's something with the air. So we'll plug this into here, which that is actually facing a different direction than the other one was from the factory, but I don't think it'll be an issue. The wires still reach. Put the fuel line back on, make sure it goes all the way over there. As you can tell by my fancy set of tools here, it doesn't take much. This is all the tools it takes to replace a carb, which everybody probably has. Slide that hose back up on there. There's no need for it to have a crimp ring. And this small one over here feels kind of short, but it's right back where it was. There's no real extra slack there. Could probably take it off and run it through this other hole. Give me a little extra movement. There we go. Looks a lot better. We'll check everything. That still needs slid up on there. I have no idea what this is. I'll have to look it up. But when I took the gas line off to make sure fuel was coming out of it, because the fuel line has followed all the way here from the gas tank, gas was coming out of this when I turned the ignition key. So I know that I don't think anything's wrong with that. So let's give it a try. Choke's on. Take the choke off for a second. Still not starting. So I guess I may have to see what's going on with that. Unless the carb just needs to get filled up with fuel first. It is 50 degrees in my garage. Sounds like my battery's getting kind of weak. I just put the battery tender on there, so that'll be good for the winter, but it's not good for right now. Unplug it first, remove those. my cord broke. See? Okay, so I got it all back together, and it still was having a hard time starting. And what I figured out is this is the choke, and it was not going all the way up. So this carb may have not actually been bad at all. So what I did is barely loosened this up and pulled this cable about 1/4 of an inch, maybe 3/8 of an inch, and then snugged it back up. You don't want to go too tight because you don't want to crush this on the cable. But now, if you put the choke on, fires right up perfectly. So we'll put the battery on charge, and altogether I had about a half an hour in it, and it runs perfect now. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.